starts right now.
Gunfire shattered a local family's quiet morning, leaving a teen in critical condition.
The shooter was in a car and fired at the mother and son as they were having breakfast outside their home. As
Katrina Weber tells us, the shooting also rattled neighbors' nerves, injuring one of them.
Morning on Moss Circle came with major turmoil. San Antonio police flooded onto that southwest side street around 8:30 this morning after a 56-year-old woman and her teenage son outside having coffee suddenly came under attack by someone in a car.
Down the street, it's a cul-de-sac, drove around, and on the way out, stopped in front of the house and just started shooting.
Police say the woman was not injured, but her 17-year-old son was hit several times. He was rushed to a hospital in critical condition. Some of the shots also hit the family's dog. Animal Care Services took the pet in for treatment.
Sounded like fireworks. It was like, like maybe 20.
Mara Vidari initially shrugged off the commotion, then got a shock when she saw police gathered on her street. For others in the neighborhood, though, it was impossible to ignore. Police roped off an especially large area as their crime scene. That's because they say the gunfire didn't just stay here. One of the bullets actually traveled into a house behind the street, shattering a glass door.
In that house who was struck by glass, not by gunfire, but it looks like she was maybe hit by some of the glass.
That woman also was treated for her injuries. Police are not sure what led to the gunfire, but they say it appears this was not the first shooting in this area.
It's concerning.
Vidori says this latest trouble has her rattled and wondering what has become of her neighborhood, which she says used to be quiet. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Let's get outside with live cam.
Yeah, that's about all you can say right now, right?
Oh, well, that's a different shot than what we usually have. And look at the...
Look at downtown.
Oh, is that a beautiful skyline of downtown?
Yeah, just wait until you step outside. It's already 94 degrees outside, guys. Now, here's the thing. You may not have known this, but technically a cold front has moved through San Antonio. That's the meteorological term for it, but we're calling it a not as humid front, really, because that's about all you're going to notice, perhaps, from the front that moved through. It's still hot out there. It's already 99 in Victoria, 97 in Cotulla, 98 in Del Rio, 95 in Hondo, 91 in Kerrville. As we zoom into the metro area here, I want to show you that around San Antonio, we're dealing with clear skies. There's a few puffy cumulus clouds that have developed ahead of the front. But yeah, still 94 degrees in San Antonio, 95 in Hondo. Now, you can't really tell where the front is from this picture. But here you can tell because I drew it on here. But also because you can see that up in the hill country, it's a little bit less humid. Dew points are in the 50s at Bernie Stage Airfield. Even at the airport, dew points in the mid 60s. South of that front, you can see that dew points are still in the 70s. But that front, not as humid front, is moving through. It is really only going to allow for a pretty pleasant evening tonight because the humidity will be pretty low. It's still going to be hot this afternoon. We're going to get up to 103 degrees. There is a small 10% chance for a stray shower as that front washes out. I'll show you the futurecast coming up here in a bit, and we'll talk about how today is going to be our 50th 100-degree day. Will we crack into the top 3 of the most 100-degree days on record for a year? I'll give you a look ahead coming up in just a bit. David, Tiffany.
Thank you, Sarah. Firefighters had their hands full with this large brush fire in Medina County. The video is from Sky 12 yesterday, north of Hondo. That's around Farm Road 462 North. The Texas A&M Forestry Service has now posted an update to its website. This morning, the fire has scorched about 30 acres, is around 40% contained. Fire crews from Hondo, D'Hanis, and Tarpley are working on that blaze.
A verdict has been reached in the trial of Giovanni Benjamin. Yesterday, a Bexar County jury found him not guilty of murder and guilty of manslaughter. Benjamin was being tried for shooting and killing a man outside a Southeast Side apartment complex in 2020. Benjamin's lawyers argued it was done in self-defense. The punishment phase of the trial will begin on a later date.
Mixed reactions from parishioners following the news about the allegations of sexual misconduct against 2 local priests. The Archdiocese of San Antonio removed Fathers Alejandro Ortega and Jesus Eduardo Martinez Solis from their individual parishes. The allegations brought forward through a hotline and another during a religious retreat. A private review and investigation by the Archdiocese shows there was enough evidence to remove the priest. Comal County Sheriff and Bexar County District Attorney investigators say investigation is underway. Parishioners applaud the Archdiocese for coming forward with the information that they've received.
Get to the truth. You know, you hope that it'll be a good investigation and they can find out if the allegations are true or not true.
Any violation of misconduct can be reported to the Archdiocese Misconduct Hotline. That number is on your screen, 844-709-1169.
Now to Donald Trump's fourth indictment, this time out of Georgia. Today, the former president attacking the Fulton County District Attorney who brought sweeping racketeering charges against him and 18 others. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest.
This morning, former President Donald Trump facing new election conspiracy charges, accused of leading a criminal enterprise seeking to overturn the 2020 Georgia election results. Trump and 18 other defendants, including lawyers Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman, charged under Georgia's Racketeering Act. Arrest warrants have been issued for all, including Trump. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis giving them until August 25th to turn themselves in.
The defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
Willis's probe sparked in part by that phone call from Trump to Georgia's Secretary of State, where the former president appeared to pressure the top official to find the votes needed to win.
So what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes.
Trump and his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, both charged with solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer in relation to that call. These new charges, which also include violating the RICO Act, engaging in a conspiracy to replace public officials with fake electors, and plotting to tamper with voting machines, add to Trump's legal woes in the midst of his race for the White House.
This is a more dangerous indictment for Donald Trump, in the sense that with a federal case, if he wins the election, he can kind of make it go away. This case he can't do that with.
The Republican frontrunner's campaign slamming the indictment as bogus and un-American. On Capitol Hill, top Democratic leaders claiming this fourth indictment portrays a repeated pattern of criminal activity. But House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and other top Republicans are defending Trump, accusing Willis of weaponizing the government. The racketeering charge alone carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years in prison. Willis says she wants to hold this trial within the next 6 months. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Atlanta.
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys just added some talent and experience to their offensive line. We'll tell you how they did that coming up.
And a lot more students are back in the classroom today, and some of those kids are already laying the groundwork for their future careers. That includes students at one local high school who are taking advantage of hands-on learning in the medical field. Welcome back. About 20 seniors at Fox Tech High School are one step closer to becoming professionals in the medical field. Here's a look at the program making their dreams come true.
There's a lot of hands-on opportunity.
From exam rooms to medical equipment. Here, students at Fox Tech High School get hands-on learning experience to prepare them for a job in the medical world.
We have a table that teaches you like the anatomy of a body.
Veronica Diaz is a senior and part of the Healthcare Pathways and Technology Early College High School, known as H-Tech.
I want to make sure I make a difference in the world and like care for people.
At the end of the school year, these students will earn a high school diploma, an associate's degree, and certifications.
Students are able to read x-rays and kind of begin to navigate their way around a patient room in a hospital or a medical center.
These students have big dreams.
I plan to go to college and further my education. I plan to get my BSN and then hopefully go to med school.
Get my BSN, get some experience in the industry, hopefully work for like about 2 to 5 years, and then go into an agency, which then I'll be a travel nurse.
A quick reminder, if you're sending your students back to class this week, KSAT wants to make sure they're set up for success. We hosted a town hall to help answer questions parents, students, and teachers might have going into the school year. All you have to do is head over to our website, KSAT.com, and you can find the whole discussion right there.
I have a feeling we're going to reach the record. I know it's going to be 50 today, but 53.
100-degree days today. That's right, yeah. So we're definitely going to make it to 100. Will we make it to the record? Possible to see that. The aquifer is dropping like a rock. It's down nearly a foot in the last 24 hours, down 0.9 of a foot. More on the aquifer coming up a little bit later, but if you're worried about the pollen count, don't be. Molds are low at 160. That's the only good thing when it comes to this heat. Really, honestly, not too bad with the pollen count. After school, though, picking up your kids, 103 degrees for the high today. It's going to be hot. Crank up the AC in the car as you're picking them up. I'll have more on the forecast, including a small chance for hope. Yeah, you heard that right. Coming up.
A lot of kids already in school. A lot of kids headed back to school this week. So yesterday, we got to see some of those cute little back-to-school photos on SA Live.
And we're hoping for more today. Fiona and Jen are live at Market Square.
That's right. We are hoping for more even cute back-to-school photos today because we know most kids started yesterday, but others are kind of trickling in this week.
Yes, Tony, our director up there, his kiddos started today. Mine don't start till the 28th, but we want to see those photos. They're so adorable, too. And when you get them today and then you compare it to the last day, that's always fun, right? To see how much they've done.
Just make sure you get the right date on there. I know I said that yesterday, but just another, that's your tip.
You just don't start till the 28th? What are they doing?
Northside. You know what? I am ready for them to go back. They're just lounging around at this point now.
She is totally ready.
Start reading some books, kids. If they're watching right now, y'all better be reading your books, children. Yes.
Oh.
So scan that QR code right there to share those first day of school photos.
All right, we'll look forward to some more of those. Unfortunately, when the kids went off to school this morning, it was warm, and unfortunately, when they come home this afternoon, it's going to be
warm again.
Very hot. 103 today for the high temperature, guys. And I know we've been saying this, but that makes 50. 50. 100
I like how you put that like a big old scoreboard. Yeah.
There it is. All right. Here it is big on your screen, too. And I want to compare the top 3 100-degree day years in San Antonio. So in 2011, we saw 57 100-degree days. Just last year, we saw 58 100-degree days. And in 2009, the most 100-degree days in a year, 59. So the big question is, are we going to crack into the top 3? I think we will. I think we will. We'll at least make it to third place, tying with 2011. Here's a look at the record-challenging heat forecast over the next few days. So Tiffany was saying, will we hit the record today? 103 is the forecast high. We'll be a degree shy of the record unless we happen to get a little bit of extra oomph and get to 104 this afternoon. Tomorrow and Thursday, we're likely to beat the record. So especially Thursday. Thursday is going to be our hottest day of the remainder of the week. Right now, I'm forecasting 107. It'll be hard for us to get to the records Friday and Saturday of this upcoming weekend, as the record on Saturday is 108, set back in 1986. But there you go. All we got is sunshine outside right now as we look across downtown San Antonio. I want to show you something interesting here. So this is a look at a few locations: New Braunfels, Seguin, Bernie, Kerrville. Notice that winds are from the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. We're seeing a northeast wind because technically a cold front moved through, although we're not going to call it that, okay? We're going to call it a not as humid front. And you can see that the heat index is really not a factor this afternoon. In fact, in Bernie, it actually feels cooler than what the thermometer actually reads because the humidity is low behind that front. Dew points are only in the 50s up in Bernie, dew point of 67 in Bulverde, 69 in Lotus, 64 at the airport. There's where that front is, moving close to Atascosa and moving through Wilson County right now. Now, as that front washes out south of San Antonio this afternoon, there is a small possibility for an isolated shower. We're only talking about a 10% chance. And it is possible south of San Antonio to see an isolated shower or two. But really, most of us are just going to be experiencing the heat, perhaps a touch more cloud cover this afternoon, but it's going to be hot. 103 for the high temperature. And again, yes, a 10% chance for an isolated stray shower out there this afternoon. And honestly, it's not going to feel that bad tonight. Now, tonight's still going to be warm. It's still going to be 91 at 10 p.m. But with a breeze from the east-northeast and low humidity, it should be great for an evening walk if you want to get some time outdoors today. Here's a look at the weather setup across the state. You can see that front is pushing through South Texas right now, part of a larger system that's actually bringing rain to parts of the Great Lakes. But that heat high is going to build back in the coming days, and that's why we have the heat sticking with us. High fire danger every single day. By Saturday, that'll make, by Monday, that'll make us the 56th 100-degree day. Now, this is the depressing part of the forecast. What I'm going to show you here is the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for August 23rd through August 29th. We've got a lot of questions, but there are still some indications that we could see some rain in south central Texas. I'll have more details about that coming up in the next half hour. David, Tiffany.
That was a 107 on there?
Yeah, look, I'll go back for you right there.
No, I don't want to see it again.
Thursday.
No.
107.
Erase. Oh, man.
Sorry about that.
Hey, here's some good news. The Cowboys O-line just got a little more experience for Cowboy fans. There you go. We'll have that for you when we come back. And the Texans are looking forward to seeing some new faces. 107.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Cowboys offensive lineman Zach Martin back at camp with the Cowboys, and he's rich. He ended his holdout after he and the Cowboys came to an agreement. The Pro Bowler and the Cowboys reworked a deal that will increase Martin's pay to around $18 million in each of the next 2 seasons. The raise puts a 32-year-old higher up on the offensive lineman pay scale. Dallas really didn't have much of a choice since they are Super Bowl contenders and they need that strong offensive line to get there. Even though Martin is now signed up, he won't be playing in the preseason game this weekend. Mike McCarthy says he won't be seeing starters at all when the team squares off against Seattle in week 2 of the preseason.
I've done it both ways. I think where your team is, what you think of your team. We feel very strongly about our roster. And I've always looked at roster development from the back forward, because we have a really good understanding of the guys that we have here that have established themselves in the locker room. So this is really the best format for roster development. Then the flip side of it is, and the most important side is, do you have the training available to make sure your team's ready for week 1? And I have a lot of confidence in the way we train and the way we compete against one another out here.
All right, so he doesn't play his starters in the preseason, and he doesn't like those joint practices either. The Houston Texans don't subscribe to that same philosophy. They're going to go up against a different team in camp. The Miami Dolphins visit Houston for 2 joint practices and a game this week. It'll be good to see different faces and different helmets to hit. There have been some scuffles in camp. Might as well do that against a different team. Head coach D'Amico Ryan said he liked seeing that passion from his team. Miami's arrival levels up players' evaluations.
It is a much better evaluation, right? We see our corners and they cover the same receivers all the time, and our receivers running routes against the same DB. So that's where we get opportunity to see, right? Different matchups to see, how those skill sets translate going against someone else. So I'm really looking forward to, the one-on-one matchups we'll have versus those guys.
All right, kickoff in Houston between the Dolphins and the Texans Saturday, 3 o'clock. Believe it or not, we are less than a month away from week 1 of the NFL regular season. Can't wait. And we're also getting closer and closer to the start of the college football season. The AP Top 25 preseason poll has been released, and the Texas Longhorns are right up in there, ranked number 11. The Longhorns are coming off an 8-5 season. Texas returns 10 starters. The entire offensive line for what should be a pretty explosive offense led by Quinn Ewers. A&M also ranked in the top 25, number 23. 2-time reigning champion Georgia ranked number 1 again. So there you go.
Our KSAT community team will be setting up shop at the Alamo Dome next weekend for the KSAT Pigskin Classic. And we're excited to collect donations for the San Antonio Food Bank during all 4 of those games. But you don't have to wait till then to donate. You can scan this code on your screen right now to make a donation. You can also head to KSAT.com to see the full list of the items the food bank says they need most. And speaking of the KSAT Pigskin Classic, there's still time to get your tickets. General admission and VIP tickets are on sale now. Just scan this QR code to see all our ticket options. The KSAT Pigskin Classic kicks off next Friday, followed by our triple header next Saturday. And besides the games, my favorite part of it was the interviews David did out there. They were very emotional and incredible.
Yeah, it's a fun time because these coaches are just learning what their players can do. The players are learning what they can do. It's an interesting way to start the season, and plus they're playing in the Alamo Dome where everybody, is excited about being inside, especially when it's, 100 degrees outside.
It's electric, definitely.
So, yeah, a lot of fun. So we can see a lot of football and do a lot of interviews.
It's going to be fun.
It'll be great.
Well, we have a lot more to come. Toyota is recalling a line of trucks. How a risk of fire is leading to the company's largest recall this year.
Today marks a week since the deadly Maui wildfires got started. I'm Melissa Adon. Coming up, we have an update on the search and rescue efforts.
Search and rescue crews are making progress in Hawaii. So far, they've combed through 25% of the burned areas in Lahaina. ABC's Melissa Dawn reports the death toll now rising to 99 as the state's governor starts the search for answers about the cause and response after those flames erupted.
Today marks a week that a deadly wildfire ravaged this community in western Maui. Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom, destroyed. Officials say about 86% of structures burned were homes. Dalia Keahi and her husband, Pastor Kawi Keahi, telling ABC's Gio Benitez how one left turn while evacuating may have saved their lives.
It's very sad.
Usually I'm hard-headed with my wife.
Lord, direct our steps. Yeah. Wow. And my husband turned left.
Turn left.
And I'm so thankful.
Thank you, Jesus.
The Maui County Police Chief sharing how they are working with FEMA to carefully comb through the burned areas.
I understand that people want numbers. It's not a numbers game. It's not just ash on your clothing when you take it off. It's our loved ones.
Governor Josh Green responding to why the island's emergency sirens were not activated, saying typically wildfire evacuation is given via text or TV, but those modes of communication were destroyed by the fires.
Typically, when sirens go off, they are because we're worried a large storm is going to come, and people historically would immediately go up country. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have warning signs. Of course we should. But it's a lot more complicated than that.
Hundreds are still unaccounted for. Officials urging survivors to provide DNA samples to help identify those who did not survive. Last night, a vigil was held for Joe Schilling. His family says he most likely died in the fire after remaining at his apartment with elderly residents unable to escape.
There isn't anybody in the family who knew Joe that would be surprised that he would put himself at risk to help somebody else.
Today, gusty winds are expected, and while they're not expected to be as strong as last week, it's bringing concern as the wildfires are not yet fully contained. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Maui.
And severe storms in the southeast yesterday caused damage in parts of Tennessee. Up to 7 inches of rain fell in Monroe County overnight. The entire town of Tellico Plains had some form of flooding. Mayor Marilyn Parker says the water treatment plant was damaged and she's concerned about fresh water. It is not known how long it could take to get water service restored.
And another reminder, if you or anyone you know is having to brave this brutal heat without AC, Project is providing free box fans to those who need them. We have all the information at KSAT12, and you can scan the QR code on your screen. The United Way is teaming up with Bexar County to offer box fans to residents 60 and older. Again, they are available at no cost. Those eligible can call 211 to request a fan.
Back outside with live cam. I know there's a lot of warnings in different counties around the area about people welding and just working with tools outside that could cause sparks. So people have to really pay attention because it is getting really, really dry.
Yeah, the fire danger is highest this afternoon for us, especially because, we have a north wind after a not so humid front moved through San Antonio. Take a look at temperatures across the state. Man, wouldn't you like to be in the Panhandle right now? 81 in Amarillo, 83 in Lubbock, even Abilene, 87 degrees in Abilene, 94 though right now here in San Antonio. This front, as it has moved through, has washed out. We're not seeing any of the benefits of cooler air, just some drier air working its way in. Although in Fredericksburg right now, it is still in the 80s, 89 in Fredericksburg. Where you can really see the effect of the front is in the humidity. Dew points a lot less up in the hill country, a lot drier out near Kerrville, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg. Even in San Antonio, we're seeing our dew points fall as a result of afternoon mixing and that not so humid front moving through. So for the remainder of the day, just expect heat, 103 around 4. It's after 4 p.m. that we have a very small 10% chance for a stray downpour, mainly south of San Antonio. Meteorologist Adam Cassidy will be keeping track of the radar this evening at 5 and 6 p.m. But then tonight, once the sun sets, it's really not going to, or starts to set, it's really not going to be all that bad. Around 8:15, the sun will set and it'll be in the low 90s, definitely still warm, but with low humidity, a bit of a breeze from the east-northeast, not all that bad in San Antonio. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk about the aquifer. The aquifer is very close to being at its lowest numbers since 1990, 33 years ago. I'll have those details coming up in just a bit. David, Tiffany.
Thank you. The woman who helped hide U.S. soldier Vanessa Guillen's body will be behind bars for a long time. Cicely Aguilar was sentenced to spend the next 30 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says she pleaded guilty in November to 1 count of accessory to murder after the fact and 3 counts of making a false statement. Federal and state officials say Aguilar helped her 20-year-old boyfriend, Army Specialist Aaron Robinson, dismember and dispose of Guillen's body near Fort Cavazos in Guillen. The 2020 killing led to changes in how women in the military can report sexual abuse.
At least 13 bodies have been found in freezers in 2 different buildings in the city of Poza Rica in Mexico's Veracruz state. That's according to a statement from Attorney General of the state of Veracruz. The statement says 6 suspects have been detained. An investigation into the incident has begun, and Mexico's General Directorate of Expert Services carried out field and crime lab tests to find the suspects.
Hunter Biden's lead criminal defense attorney wants off the case. In his request to withdraw, Christopher Clark told a federal judge he could now be called as a witness in future proceedings, since the plea agreement will likely be contested. Last week, federal prosecutors said they reached an impasse on the plea deal related to tax offenses and a gun possession charge. And the Biden administration is asking the Supreme Court to take up multiple cases involving state laws that restrict social media companies' moderation of their own platforms. The White House argues the laws violate the First Amendment rights of companies such as Meta and Twitter. The U.S. government's brief adds pressure on the court to rule on whether states can force tech platforms to host content they would otherwise remove under their terms of service. If the court agrees to hear the cases involving laws passed by Texas and Florida, the outcome could reshape what Americans nationwide can see on digital social platforms.
Toyota has issued a voluntary recall for certain 2022 and 2023 Tundra and Tundra hybrid trucks. It's the company's largest recall this year, covering 168,000 vehicles in the U.S. The vehicles have a plastic fuel tube, which could rub against a brake line and develop a fuel leak. Toyota says such a leak could possibly cause a fire, quote, in the presence of an ignition source, end quote. The Japanese car maker will replace the tube for free when it has the parts available. For now, Toyota dealers will install protective materials and a clamp on the fuel tube for free. The company will notify owners of affected vehicles by early October. Owners can go to toyota.com/recall for more information. Americans opened their wallets more in July. The Commerce Department reported Tuesday retail sales rose 0.7% last month from June. That was a much faster pace than June's 0.3% gain. It was also above economists' expectations of a 0.4% increase. The figures reflect continued resilience from U.S. consumers in the face of higher interest rates and still high inflation.
While the weather is just hot, it is still quiet right now, but severe weather has been known to hit South Texas. In fact, One of the deadliest struck just 2 hours southeast of San Antonio. A look back at the impact of that storm.